A little bit earlier, we talked about the good news, bad news situation with Daredevil Born Again. Bad news is not going to be 18 episodes, but good news, it's still going to be double the length of most Disney Plus episodes, so there's that. But for fans of the original Netflix Daredevil series, there was as big of a piece of news come out that doesn't have to do with casting. Now, some of you guys may remember, one of the big first pieces of evidence that Disney was not doing the same Daredevil as was on Netflix was when the stunt coordinator for the Netflix series came out and made the statement saying, I believe it's Philip Silveria, I think his name was Silvera, came out and said, yeah, me and everybody else who worked on the Netflix series were told you're not needed. Right? And he was the stunt coordinator that made those gritty fights like feel so, that hallway fight scene and all that kind of stuff. He was the man behind all that. And a number of months ago, he came out and said, yeah, they told me in no uncertain terms, and everybody else who worked on that show, we're not needed. Well, as a part of the big turnaround, he's part of it. Check this out. Fans have been wary about how Daredevil Born Again will adapt Matt Murdock in the MCU, especially given how acclaimed the Netflix series was for its dark and gritty tone. Luckily, it seems Charlie Cox's iconic performance will be in good hands, with a new article by The Hollywood Reporter revealing that Philip Silvera, the fight and stunt coordinator for Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix, will be returning for the Disney Plus revival. And they also announced he will officially be the second unit director, which is often what the stunt coordinators will be at any rate. But he's officially going to be the fight stunt coordinator and the second unit director for Daredevil. Once again, just another thing that Disney has changed course. They are making this the same thing. But Rob, I think when we look back, there's a couple things that really earmark that Daredevil Netflix series. Great character work, great dialogue, great writing. But the thing that made them able to keep that show so low budget, but so enthralling, was the gritty action, the street level fighting. Yeah. Without big explosions and laser eyes and all that kind of stuff, and still make it thrilling and exciting and all that kind of stuff. This is a huge coup. I would go so far as this. We've already heard reports that it looks like Foggy and Karen are coming back. I would suggest this is even bigger news than that and more important to the overall DNA of the show. What do you make of this?
Ninjas. There's going to be ninjas. I think that they're clearly this retooling of Daredevil. They've gone back and they've thought to themselves, wow, Daredevil was the first of these new TV shows, Netflix shows, to come on. It impressed everybody. The show was well cast. It was beautifully made. Everybody liked it. It has fight scenes that people still remember. They're getting some of the beating heart of what made this show work. They're putting it all back together, as they should have from the beginning. Because it's like, what are you guys doing here? And I like the fact that they're doing this because they're like, you know what? We made mistakes. We're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of our viewers. And this is something else, John, that I would say that speaks really well to what they're doing. You know, they look and see what works, and they bring it back, and they incorporated it more into the MCU. This excites me because the fights and the action in Daredevil were always great for all 3 seasons.
They really were.
And it made the show fun to watch because Daredevil is a street-level character. You know, you can't put him up against Thanos or Arishem the Judge. I mean, maybe you could, but what's he going to do? You know, I mean, let me talk to you about this. Let me litigate this case. You're a judge. I'm a lawyer. They're not going to fight. So, I mean, I think this is the way to go.
Yeah, and listen, and as long as, for me, the biggest concerning piece of news that I heard coming out of what was the Daredevil Born Again production was when they said that Matt doesn't even appear in the Daredevil outfit until like episode 5 or 6. And I just remember going, this is a show called Daredevil, right? And you're not going to have Daredevil show up till episode 5 or 6. I mean, so hopefully, again, that will be, if they are truly embracing that this is now essentially a season 4 of the Netflix series, we're going to get him as Daredevil right out of the gate. And now when he fights, he'll have that same fight coordinator that was there. And I think this is absolutely huge, major news for them. So let's see how all this works out. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Factor. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery store and prep work because you know what? Sometimes we just don't feel like prepping our own meals. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Forget frantic lunch preps and rushed dinners. Factor's 2-minute meals are your secret weapon in the new year. Fuel up fast with restaurant-quality meals, all delivered right to your door. And Factor now offers loads of snack options like breakfast, smoothies, juices, snacks, and more to keep me going no matter what's on the schedule. It's time to skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. And Factor is flexible. Change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. So guys, head to factormeals.com/Campea50 and use the code Campea50 to get 50% off. That's code Campea50 at factormeals.com/Campea50 to get 50% off. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.